From the very beginning of our existence, we humans have depended on staying connected to reality. For our ancestors, this was survival. They had to notice everything: the weather changing, predators nearby, where food might be found. They had to stay alert, tuned in, always thinking about what their environment was trying to tell them. Back then, the stakes were life and death. The human brain evolved to help detect dangers and, over time, gain some control over a harsh, unpredictable world. Whenever our ancestors drifted into wishful thinking or unrealistic fantasies, reality hit back hard. Mistakes weren't just embarrassing, they were fatal. Fast forward to today. Our brains are still wired the same way, designed to help us navigate and survive. But the world has changed. We've gained so much control over our surroundings that the dangers are no longer leopards or thunderstorms. They're people. They're the complex politics, the subtle games, and the psychological traps we encounter every day. The trouble is, these dangers are harder to spot, and our minds, no longer under the same physical pressure, often get lazy. Instead of staying sharp, we drift into daydreams and lose touch with what's really happening around us. We get naive. And here's the kicker: our culture doesn't exactly help. We're fed all kinds of false ideas about what life should be like, how people should act, and even who we are. These ideas often feel good, but they're misleading. We act on them, and eventually reality hits back. Maybe it doesn't take our lives, but it messes with our careers, our relationships, and our sense of direction. We blame other people, bad luck, or circumstances, when the real issue is often inside us, our own misguided beliefs and assumptions. Let's look at some examples of these misconceptions. When it comes to our careers, we think success is about where we went to school or who we know. We believe failure is something to avoid at all costs. We assume work should always be fun and that there are shortcuts to becoming great at something. We convince ourselves that creativity is some magical gift and that hierarchies don't matter anymore. With people, we believe that most of our friends and colleagues genuinely like us and have our best interests at heart. We trust people who say they've changed, and we assume those who are passionate and outraged must be right. We think authority figures like bosses are confident and secure. We imagine that nice, accommodating people couldn't possibly be hiding darker motives, and we think that others will always appreciate the favors we do for them. When it comes to ourselves, we fall into similar traps. We believe it's best to always speak our minds, show off our strengths, and blame others or bad luck when things go wrong. Sure, we know some people are manipulative, narcissistic, or envious, but we assume those are rare qualities, and definitely not things we possess. But life has a way of waking us up. Maybe it happens when we first enter the work world and realize it's full of fragile egos, hidden agendas, and political games. We learn the hard way that just being ourselves or saying whatever we think can backfire. Some career choices, driven by a hunger for money or attention, lead to burnout or dead ends. And when we avoid taking an honest look at ourselves, we repeat the same mistakes over and over, falling into patterns we don't even see. Over time, this can leave us bitter, confused, and stuck. Here's the good news: it doesn't have to be this way. By reconnecting with reality and shedding these harmful illusions, we can sharpen our awareness, recognize the real dynamics of the world, and make smarter decisions. We can train our minds to spot opportunities and navigate social environments with clarity and confidence. The first step: tuning out all the noise telling you what you should do or who you should be. Instead, start listening to yourself. Your unique voice, your purpose, your calling. It's not about where you went to school or how much money you have. What matters is your drive, your persistence, and your willingness to learn from mistakes. Failures and conflicts aren't roadblocks, they're lessons. True creativity and mastery grow out of these experiences. Next, learn to see the work world for what it really is, a place full of political dynamics and hidden dangers. Not everyone is what they seem, and recognizing toxic types early can save you a lot of trouble. Understand how manipulation works, and you'll be better equipped to outsmart those who don't have your best interests at heart. Then focus on real persuasion and influence. It's not about pushing your own agenda or saying whatever's on your mind. It's about understanding others, what they want, how they think, and appealing to that. This mindset will help you become a better strategist, advancing your goals and making a real impact. Finally, dive deep into the motivations that drive human behavior, yours and others. When you accept that everyone, including you, is flawed, it becomes easier to empathize and understand. You can break free from your own negative patterns and develop a healthier, more grounded perspective on life. By confronting your deepest fears, even the fear of mortality, you can unlock a richer appreciation for the beauty and fragility of life. This journey isn't easy, but it's transformative. It's about shedding illusions, navigating a world full of complexity, and emerging wiser, stronger, and more attuned to the reality around you. In the end, reality is far more interesting and rewarding than the fantasies we're taught to believe. It's time to embrace it, face it, and learn to thrive within it.